So previously we looked at the theory part of descriptive statistics. In that we looked at the measurement of central tendency, which were mean, mode and median, and we also looked at measurement of dispersion, which were the range, standard deviation, variance and interquartile range. Now let's use those concepts here using Python. So let's say if you have a list here and the list name is A. So let me make that list. A is equal to, so in this list I have four numbers 1, 2, 3 and 3. So these are the four numbers in this list, which is list A. So control enter and I run this. Now let me add some cells by pressing B below this line. And now let's say if I want to find out the sum of these, how do I find out? So for that, it's simply sum, and in the bracket, if I put A, that will give me the sum of all these numbers in the list. And if you want to find out the length of this list, and length means how many items we have in this list, that you can find out using len, length A. That will give the length in this list, which is 4. And if you remember, we earlier talked about count. The count was used to find out a specific number, how many times that number is appearing here. So let's say if I have to count how many times 3 appears here, then I can say that a dot count, and in the bracket if I put 3, that will return 2. That means in this list, number 3 is appearing 2 times. So we are not talking about count. We are talking about the length. How many number of items do we have here? So as you could guess, once I find out the sum and the length, I can find out the mean of these items, mean of these numbers. So to find out, what I can do is, I can take the sum of all these items and divide it by the length of list A. That is basically the mean here. So if I want to put this in certain variable, so let's say the variable is m mean, which is my mean, is equal to this. So I can put this in a variable. This is how I can find out mean. But then you would say that isn't there a simpler method to do this? So let's try mean, whether the mean works here or not. So let's say if I want to find out the mean of A, just like I could find out the sum, I could find out the length. Can I find out the mean of the list A? And if I press that, it gives me error. So for this, we will need to take help of some external packages, and that's what we will be doing. So to do that, what we need to do is we need to import a package which is statistics, and that will help us in finding out the measurement of central tendency and measurement of dispersion. So once again, the name of that package is statistics. So to import any package, the first thing what you need to do is import and then statistics. As we go further, we will import these packages with a certain name. Let's say import statistics as st or something. But for now, let's just import statistics. And with this, if I press enter, now the package statistics has been imported in this session. So I don't need to repeat this statement again and again. So once I have imported this package, now this package is available for me to use. Now let me add few cells here. Now if I want to find out the mean of that list, that I can find out using statistics, which is the name of the package. And in this package, there is method called mean. So now I can say that statistics.mean, and then I can put that value A. A is the list. So what I want to do is, using statistics package, I want to find out the mean of list A, and with this, if I press enter, I get that mean. Let me take a break here before I go to mode and median. You might be thinking that my data is not as simple as what we are looking at here, because your data might be thousands of items in Excel sheet, which are the measurement of a piece which you are taking. And now you want to find out the mean of that. You cannot use this. You cannot make a list and type all those 1,000 items, make a list and take a mean. You will not be doing that. As we go further, we will be using advanced techniques. So just bear with me. Right now, we are just looking at some fundamental aspects. So now we have looked at the mean, and if you have to find out a few other things, let's say mode and median, similarly you can find those as well. So statistics dot median, and median of list A. And if I press enter, this gives me 2.5. So median is 2.5. So if I look at this list, the median will be the average of these two items, 2 and 3, that will be 2.5, and that's what we got here. And then if you want to find out the mode, again statistics dot mode and mode of A. This will be 3 because term 3, number 3 has appeared twice. So that is the most frequently occurring item. So that is the mode here. Now coming to the measurement of dispersion. The first measurement of dispersion is range. Whether the range is available in statistics package. Let's look at that. Statistics dot, and then to look at what all options do I have, I will press on the tab and that will give me this list, what all I have in statistics. Do I have range here? No, range is not here. So what I will be doing is, I cannot use statistics package to find the range, but if I have to find the range, what I will be doing is max A, which is the basic command in Python, which will give me the value which is maximum, minus min A. So the maximum value here is 3, the minimum value in this list is 1. So if I press this, this will give me the range as 2. So this is the way you can find out the range. And now if you want to find out the standard deviation and variance, so let's add few cells here, and for that also we will be using statistics package, statistics dot standard deviation. So I will just press S and I will press tab. That will give me these options. So square root or standard deviation. So this is what I need of A. This is the standard deviation. And if you remember earlier, we talked about standard deviation for a sample and standard deviation for the population. This one is the standard deviation for sample. And as you would see in most of statistical packages, including Excel, including Minitab, the default value of standard deviation is the standard deviation for sample. So this is the standard deviation. And now if I want to find out the variance of this, the variance of this will be the square of this. But then there is a variance command directly available. So statistics dot V, and I press tab, it automatically fills variance and A. So this is the variance. So 0.957 square will give me 0.91 as the variance. Now coming to the interquartile range, let's look at that. Statistics dot Q, and which is quantile. So quantile is a general term. So if we divide this data into 4 groups, then that will be the quartile, quartile with the R. And here we have quantile. So quantile is a general term. So what do we need to put here? So let's press on shift and tab, and this will give me the help here. So this basically tells that I need to put the data here, and by default n is equal to 4. So n is equal to 4 means that by default this will give me the quartile. So let's put that data here. So data is A, and if I press enter, so these are Q1, Q2 and Q3. This is Q2, which we have already seen when we were talking about the median, and this is Q1 and this is Q3. Now interquartile range is Q3 minus Q1. So for that, what I can do is I will put this into a variable. Let's say this variable is B, and control enter. And now if I have to find out the interquartile range, let me type B here. So this is B. So if I have to find interquartile range, what I need to do is this one minus this one, the Q3 minus Q1. So what I will do is B. In B, I am looking at the second index, which is the third item, 3 minus B 0. And if I press control enter, this is my interquartile range. So this is how you can find out the measurement of central tendency and measurement of dispersion in a list. And right now we are using lists. So as we go further, we will be using more complex data structures. So after finding out the interquartile range, which came out to be 1.75, let's step back and use the same example what we saw in theory. So there we had an example where we had these numbers. So let me put those numbers, copy and paste. So these were the numbers in that example. So let's call this as C. So let's make this list C and control enter. So let's say now I want to find out Q1, Q2 and Q3 for this data. So what I will do is I will define a variable, let's say Q. Q is equal to statistics, and in statistics what I want to do is I want to find out the quantiles, and in that I will put this list which is C. So now let me check what do I have in Q. So let me add some rows here. So if I press Q, so these are my Q1, Q2 and Q3. So these are exactly what we calculated manually just looking at the data. So now if I want to find out the interquartile range, I can say that Q and in the square bracket minus Q and in the square bracket the first term with the index 0. This comes out to be 20 and that's what we had there. Now if you remember there we made a box and whisker plot. We have not talked about visualization yet. We have not talked about any graph yet. But I just want to show you that how easy it is to make a box and whisker plot. But to make a box and whisker plot, you need two packages. And these packages are, let me import matplotlib.pyplot as PLT. So this is one package I need to import and enter, and import Seaborn as SNS. So these two packages I need to import. And we will be discussing these in more details. So once I have imported these packages, this is so simple to make a box and whisker plot that I can say that use SNS, that means the Seaborn package, and makes a box plot. So box plot, and in the bracket I give the list, and list name here is C. So if I say that, I get something here and there is a warning. So I will talk about that warning, but I get a box and whisker plot here. In this, I would prefer to put plt.show and the bracket close, because in the older version of Jupyter Notebook, you need to provide this command to show the plot. But in the newer version, without this command also, you can see the plot. But let's put that. And I press Control Enter and I still see this warning. And this warning is related to telling that what is C. Now C is my X. So if I say X is equal to C and if I press Control Enter, I get this box and whisker plot. So this is a horizontal plot. If I want to make it vertical, so instead of X, I can say that Y is equal to C. And I get this box and whisker plot. So as you could see, it's not difficult to make plots and graphs in Python. And once again, there is a detailed section where we will be talking about these in more details. So this completes our discussion on measurement of dispersion. The next thing what we will be doing is, we will be talking about a package called NumPy.